The Shallow Tale of a Writer Who Decided to Write About a Serial Killer, which premiered at Tribeca this month, is a dark comedy about a struggling writer, played by John Magaro, whose life takes a turn when he forms a relationship with a retired serial killer, played by Steve Buscemi, in whom he finds an unlikely muse and counselor as his relationship with his wife, played by Severance's Britt Lower, unravels. As actor Nick Sadnani explains it,
he's a serial killer that you're not so threatened by. I think you're gonna kind of feel like you're falling in love with him.
That's kind of scary. I mean, right? But there is one catch, something that sets this film apart from others that tell stories about serial killers. We don't actually see this killer commit any crimes.
When you watch the film, you're gonna be like, is this guy a serial killer? Is he a retired serial killer? Has he actually done?
To further complicate things, what happens is we, the viewer, spend 102 minutes watching this man who's supposed to be evil being a kind and supportive friend on screen. What if we start to like him? Do you think that it's warranted?
I think the thing is that we're curious about people, right, that do things that we would never do.
To learn more about this intriguing and bizarre film, we caught up with director Tolga Karaçelik and asked some of our burning questions. This is Hannah and Kaylin, back again with Double Talk. I'm Kaylin.
And I'm Hannah, and we're at the SVA Theater in New York City for the Tribeca premiere of The Shallow Tale of a Writer Who Decided to Write About a Serial Killer.
I'm curious about how this film tackles the charming serial killer trope, because it sounds like the serial killer in this film is charming.
Well, the thing is, because of the tone of our film, I can't say that serial killer thing is the main issue in this film, because the way that I had created this character, also Steve also portrayed this character, you can never be so sure if he's or not. So I won't spoil also to give you a spoiler and say if he is or not, but like the character, the audience is always in doubt, and the way that we handle the character and also all the characters is more like childish. So I don't think the movie is about the serial killer topic.
The first thing that comes to mind is when you have Steve's character, almost acting like a marriage counselor, and he's this writer's muse. It almost makes me feel like you'd feel some empathy for him. How can you not be endeared to somebody who's offering advice? What do you make of that?
Well, exactly, and also the way that he portrays the character is so lovable. Steve Buscemi is lovable also, like he can be 1001 things, of course, but like the way he portrayed this character is, I think, with kindness. So I can't be objective about it because I love him, but like I think the audience will be also feeling kind of like the same way that I am feeling.
This film really does blend fiction, fact from fiction, reality from a made-up world. Can you speak a little bit about that and how it ties in with this relationship with the serial killer?
Well, it's all fiction. It is like the reality is, I don't care about reality. It's the reality that we see on the screen. So it's a fiction that becomes reality for the film. So it's in a world that we created. As again, it's like I will be repeating myself, but like when you watch the film, it's like kind of like 5-year-old characters talking in a kind of, maybe because of my English too, 5-year-old dialogues. So it's more on the bright and funny side, although it looks quite dark. So I think that's what's kind of like blending genres and blending the feelings that I tried to create with this film. That was all about that.
And how does comedy play a role?
It is a dark comedy. I hope you will also find it funny, because I'm usually the most lonely when I laugh at things. So I think I should be not allowed to make so many comedies. But like I hope you will laugh with us while you're watching it. And of course, we couldn't leave without getting some perspective on the movie's title, which admittedly is what caught our attention in the first place.
I highly doubt this is actually a shallow tale. Can you tell me a bit about the title and how you think that it is a good descriptor of the film?
Yeah, well, I think the title kind of draws you in, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah, there's like a lot of, it's like, what is this? That's the whole thing, right? You think you're in a shallow pool, and then it's deep.
That's true.
Right? So that's kind of what happens.
True.
I know for me, like, the intrigue of being dropped into a situation that you don't know anything about, and the fear of that, and the funniness of that was my draw to the project.